So I always ask my subscribers or the people who watch my videos to tell me what they would want me to record about, to tell me what video they want to see, and I have a few too many recommendations actually. And today's video I'm going to be doing a video on one of the, should I say the comments, on one of the things I was asked to make a video about. So this particular individual asked me to create a video about my experience traveling from Uganda to Nairobi for my DV visa interview, and that is what I'm going to be doing in today's video. If you're seeing my face for the very first time, my name is Rachel Agasha. I am an immigrant from Uganda. I traveled to the United States in August 2022. I won the DV lottery, and that's why I talk about it on the channel. I share about my experience. I talk about the things that I've been through in the United States, the things I know, or the things I have been through in regard to the DV lottery, and I just share the knowledge. Basically, I share about the things that you should know before you come to this country. I share the knowledge that I have learned, the things that I wish I knew before I came to this country, so you're not out here doing the same things that I did or going through things that I went through. I just decided to do this recently, and it's something that I think I love to do, so I might kind of stick to this for a while. So yeah, I always love to say that I share from my experience. If you won the DV lottery 2022 and you feel like things have changed, or you're probably from another country and you feel like what I am saying is not what you experienced or what you went through, feel free to leave your opinion in the comment section. Do not attack me. Please don't attack me. I only share from my experience, so share your experience as well in the comment section. If you've won the DV lottery and you'd want me to host you to share your experience as well, I am also very, very open to that. Just reach out to me and let me know, hey, you know what, this and this and this and this. I am very okay. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I make it a point to answer every question that is asked. If I do not have an answer to this, I do some research to make sure I'm giving you reliable information. So, about my experience, of course, like I've mentioned before, by the time I was selected, I was in my third year of law school, but by the time my visa interview was scheduled, I always mentioned this, that when they select you, you have at most a year. Yeah, you have a whole year to put yourself together, to put everything together. And again, I'll emphasize, it's not over until it's over. So please don't quit your job. Please don't stop school. Please don't sell off your land or your property or anything. No. You still have a whole year, and don't panic. Don't be out here thinking, oh my God, where am I going to get the money from? You have a whole year to put yourself together. I found out that I was selected on June 8th, 2021, my birthday actually. So if anything, that is the best gift I have ever gotten, on my birthday. So that is when I found out, and my visa interview was on July 15th. So that's practically a whole year later. Yeah, so you have time. I repeat, you have time to put yourself together, to collect all that money that you need, because it's expensive. It can be really, really expensive. I've been meaning to make a video about how much it could cost you entirely, but I don't know. I'll probably do that in a few days or weeks to come. But yeah, so my experience, I didn't want to. Now, my mother had wanted me to fly to Nairobi. The only problem is, once you do your interview and your visa is approved, you have to wait for your passport for a week. Because these guys have your passport for 7 days and then they send it back to you after a week. Now, when you go to Nairobi, you're going to do your medical exam and then you're going to do your interview. Now, my interview was on the 15th of July, 2022. Yeah. And your medical exam is scheduled in accordance to when you're going to be doing your interview. Yeah, so after I wrote to IOM and explained my situation, they asked for my appointment letter, asked me for when my visa interview would be and everything, so I provided that. So they made my they scheduled an appointment for me for the, I think the 12th. Yeah, so I traveled to Nairobi on the 10th of July 2022. Now, unless you have family in Nairobi or Kenya, also, it is important for you to live in Kenya, close to the embassy. You can't be living so very far from the embassy and from IOM. You get what I mean? So as in Nairobi, I kind of have family in Nairobi. So for me, I didn't have to hustle through the whole hotel things and everything. I had a family to go to, which was really interesting. And like I mentioned, you need to know the weather when you travel, because it can actually be very cold in Nairobi, like very cold. By the time I went there, it was really cold and it was raining, so you needed to be warm. Like by all means, you need to be warm. So I used Mashpoa. I think it's called Mashcool these days. Their offices are opposite National Theatre, if they've not moved. But I went there. You want to go there and you want to either book prior, because oftentimes when you decide to travel on that very day, the seats could be fully booked. So you could go there and book, or ask someone who's in Kampala to actually book for you, because you just pay and then they give you a ticket, they allocate you a seat number. You actually choose. When you do it earlier, you have the chance and the opportunity to choose what kind of seat or wherever you want to sit. They have the normal seats and then they have the VIP seats. I think I paid, was it 120? I think 120,000. I honestly don't remember the prices. I could not even remember to save my life, but I know it was at least 120. It's I think extra 20k or 30k for the VIP seats, but I honestly would say don't spend the money on the VIP seats, because all the seats are pretty much comfortable. Very, very comfortable. There's enough room for you to stretch. I mean, the journey is long, because I think it was 12 hours on the road, because we started our journey at around 5. I think I was on the bus at around 4, as in Mukono at 5 something, and we reached Nairobi at around 7 a.m. So probably 12 hours. Yeah. Also, I would recommend that you travel in the night, because when you travel in the night, it's kind of, I don't know, the time flies by so fast compared to the day when you're looking at all these things and the time passing by and everything. Now, my border experience, when we reached the border, the Busia border actually. So, being that Nairobi is part of the East African community, you can use your national ID to travel. However, when we reached there, we had to get out of the bus. They tell you to leave the bus. They get out of the bus entirely. What they're doing is inspecting, checking if you're bringing into their country unwanted stuff, all those things. I would recommend that if you have money, or you have precious things on you, or you have important documents, do not leave these things in the bus. Anything could happen, so just move with your things, because I'm thinking as you're moving, you have that hand luggage where you've put like your documents. Now you're going to do the DV. All of the documents that you have, the DV visa, all the documents that you have are your originals. You can't afford to leave your original documents in the bus. Carry everything with you and get out. So when we reached the border, they of course asked for our national IDs, then they asked for our COVID vaccine. In fact, if you did not have the COVID vaccine, the COVID vaccine certificate, that would be a major issue. So in my head, I'm like, okay, so I had everything with me of like, hey, okay, you know what, I don't want to, mess this thing up. And of course they look at the vaccine certificate, then they look at your passport. Now oftentimes they might stamp into your passport at the port of entry. Please remember to have them stamp out like when you're coming back, because what happened to me was me, because we were using the national IDs and everything, I didn't pay so much attention to the to the passport. So when we were coming back, actually, is when I realized, oh my God. Actually, I did not realize, because I did not know what was happening. Until, because when you reach somewhere, they ask for your passports and they want to check your passport. So they check my passport, and guys like, how did you get out of the country? Because yes, you have the stamp for entering the country, but it's not stamped for getting out. I'm like, okay, I do not know, but no one asked me for my passport to stamp out anything. So you need to be sure of all those things. So at the border, they'll ask for your national ID, they'll ask for your passport, and then they'll ask for your vaccine. They'll ask for the yellow fever, definitely. They'll ask for the COVID vaccine certificate. They asked me for the COVID vaccine certificate. Now, I do not know if they're doing that anymore. I honestly do not know, and I have no one to ask, but I do not know. But have those things at hand. That was pretty much it. Another thing that I would really want to mention, change the money at the border. Like if you have Ugandan shillings, because when you get to Kenya, the difference with Kenya and Uganda is that, you see how we have all these forex bureaus everywhere, and we have people exchanging money and everything. You don't have that luxury in Nairobi. At least for where I was, you do not have that luxury. Also, it's a bit expensive. Yeah, so when you get a little bit of your money and exchange it at the border. There's so many people, as in very many people, who are saying, hey, I can exchange for you, blah blah blah. But it's better for you to get a secured place and exchange your money, because it's easier here. Now you're going to reach Nairobi and you're going to need a taxi, or you need to travel from wherever you have reached to where you're going, and you're not going to use Ugandan money. You are not going to use Ugandan money to travel, so you need to make that change from there. Actually, even when you're going to do your interview, yeah. Now, when you go to pay the visa fee, they'll ask you to either have US dollars or have Kenyan shillings entirely. The one thing I want to mention about the visa money, do not have notes that are below 2009, that were manufactured under 2009. I don't know if you get what I mean. You know, there are years on the notes. Yeah, so if you decide to do dollars, keep it dollars. If your dollar is of a year less than 2009, they will not take it. They will not take that note. And if you decide to do Kenyan shillings, have all your Kenyan shillings together, not a few Kenyan shillings and then some dollars. Oh, okay, my dollar, this dollar is less than, was manufactured under the year of 2009, so can I just add up the Kenyan shillings? No, they'll not take that. Yeah, so everything put together, my experience was not so bad. I think because I was very sure of where I was going. Also, when you get to Nairobi, now you probably do not know where you're going, and if no one is waiting for you at a particular spot, you have to be vigilant. Yeah, so I get to Nairobi, and the people I was supposed to be going to told me, all right, so you're going to get into a matatu. Tell them to take you up to this particular place, then I will pick you from this place. I'm like, oh, okay. I get there and I have luggage, of course. So this guy comes, hi, how are you? Oh, what are you looking for? Because I definitely did not know where I was going. So I tell him where I am going. He's like, okay, let me take you to those taxis. So we go, he carries my bag for me, we go. I'm just lucky or glad that this guy was actually, should I say, a good guy? But I had to pay for my services, because just helping me carry and show me, he charged me 500 Kenyan shillings. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of Kenyan shillings. But I mean, I didn't know where I was going, so I'm like, you know what? Okay. And at that point, I didn't even know the value. So I'm like, okay. You know, when you're from Uganda and with the little value of our money, you're thinking, it's probably no big deal. What? Huh? Kenyan money is huge. It's a lot of money. So you need to be vigilant. You need to be careful, and you need to be very cautious, because from this journey, you're definitely going to be tired, but you need to know what you are doing and you need to know where you're going. Yeah, I mean, if you can't have someone wait for you, because if you do not know, you're going to probably have issues or something. But again, be vigilant. Yeah. So my experience was honestly a good experience. I cannot complain. I had a very good experience in Nairobi. The only difference is I didn't know it would be as cold, but I'm glad I was very ready for that. The whole interview process was really good. My medicals were also okay. Of course, medicals, when I got there, it was really raining and I had to wait outside and it rained on me. It was a lot, but everything was good. Oh, they also this person also asked me for how long did I have to stay in Nairobi after my interview. Now, that is what I was talking about, and then I got distracted. I went to Nairobi on the 10th. I reached on the 11th. I had my interview, my medical exam on the 12th. Then on the 13th, I was there. I waited for 13th, 14th, and 15th. I did my interview and I had to wait for a week, yeah, for me to get my passport from the DHL that I told them to send my passport to. Now, the other alternative that you do, because this is a lot, if you're staying in like a hotel or something and you have maybe someone you can talk to get your passport for you, because it's going to be expensive for you. If you're a family, maybe one person can remain and the others travel back to Uganda. That is the reason that's why I could not fly to Nairobi, because now with flying you need a return ticket, right? So I was not even sure how long I was going to stay, so I did not know what the return date would be, and I didn't want to be moving back and forth. So for me, I stayed for I think 2 weeks. I stayed for around 2 weeks because from the 10th to the 15th, then from the 15th till the end of the whole week to wait for my passport. So according to your arrangement, it's all up to you. I do not think they will send your passport to Uganda via DHL, unless it is somebody else who go to the DHL and ask for it and then send it to you. And if you decide to do that, you actually will have to leave your ID with this person, because when you go to get your passport, they are strict. They'll ask for your ID. They want to make sure they're giving this person to whom it is supposed to be going to. So leave your ID with the person that you decide to pick your passport for you, so that you're not having to go through the whole back and forth, you know. Then I think that's pretty much everything. So I was in Nairobi for around 2 weeks. Because the week that led to my interview and then the week after, it was easy for me because I had family. I was practically having the best time of my life, I should say, in Nairobi. So yeah, this is pretty much everything I'd have to say about this experience. My experience was good, I must say. It was really good as a VIP, you know. My case was a bit different. I mean, honestly, this journey has not been so harsh for me. God has been making ways for me. I cannot even attribute it to me or whatever, but it has been God. Honestly, God from day one. I mean, I don't think I say it enough, but you need to pray about these things. Like, for everything that you don't have control over, just tell God, you know what? Me, I cannot do this on my own. So have your way. Like, do your thing. That is what I do. That is what I did. And that is what I am still doing. Yeah. So that's as much as I had for you in this video. Again, if you have anything that you want me to make a video about, just be sure to leave it in the comment section and I'll get right to it. So I'll see you in our next video. Stay safe and take care. Bye-bye. Oh, I hope I gave you a reason to subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Be sure to leave a like and a comment if you can. Yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.